Hello, I'm CJ Werleman, and in this episode, we answer an important question that has been asked by many people around the world today. Should I adopt a Palestinian orphan from Gaza? But first, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. More than 15,000 Palestinian children have been killed by Israeli genocide forces since October of last year. But this number reveals only a tiny portion of the violence that has been inflicted upon Gaza during the past 6 months. Given more than 40,000 innocent people are now dead, with the territory completely destroyed, including nearly every residential home, school, mosque, and hospital. But children have borne the brunt of this Zionist genocide. They not only represent 40% of all fatalities, but also 50% of all hospitalized patients. And as shocking as these statistics are, the well of despair runs far deeper, with a new report finding that more than 25,000 Palestinian children have become orphans since October, meaning they are the sole survivors of their family. That's 25,000 children who will grow up never knowing a direct blood relative. A British doctor who was an eyewitness to this horror said, and I quote, "There is no lonelier place in this universe than the bedside of a wounded child who has no more family to look after them." End quote. The horrific reality is this, that Gaza is the most dangerous place in the world to be a child.
WCNSF, wounded child, no surviving family.
Humanitarians and journalists have never heard that before. It's never been required before. But there are simply so many children that fit in to that horrendous grouping.
A survey conducted in 2021 found that, back then, 4 out of 5 Palestinian children in Gaza suffered depression due to Israel's criminal blockade, which robs them of a future filled with freedom and aspiration. But today, life for these children is now measurably worse.
So yes, families were bunkering together. Yes, it's densely populated. But within that context, within that known context, there has been an indiscriminate nature to these attacks that have led and are leading to so many children being killed and injured.
These psychological injuries have led children as young as 5 to tell us that they would prefer to die.
One of the most painful stories I've read during the past several months is one in which a doctor found a 5-year-old boy sleeping in the middle of a road in the middle of the night. But when he approached the child, he asked, "Why are you sleeping here? It's dangerous. You will be killed." The boy answered, "I didn't come here to sleep. I came here to die." In what other universe are 5-year-olds left with no other choice but to contemplate suicide? This is the kind of evil the Zionist regime and its Western allies have unleashed on hundreds of thousands of young, innocent lives in Gaza.
هلا انت لحالك مالكش اخوه هنا؟
لا ولا حدا لي. انا والله ما بقدر اعيش. انا قاعد لحالي بس.
قاعد وين؟
فين؟
قديش إلك مش شايف امك؟
زمان. وخال احمد واخويا وامي الصاروخ اركان بقى جنب امي. لما نزل الصاروخ اركان عبط امي والصاروخ نزل في حضني. انا واختي واخوي.
This nightmare has invoked many kind and caring people around the world to ponder the idea of adopting one of these beautiful Palestinian orphans. To cite just one of countless examples, a single petition on change.org received signatures from more than 10,000 supporters urging Western governments to ease current adoption laws, to allow potential adoptive parents to better navigate the process of adopting an orphan from Gaza. Similar petitions are popping up everywhere, whereas others have raised the question in chat forums found online. Now, before I express my thoughts on this topic, I want to preface my remarks by saying that any person who expresses a desire to take on the lifetime responsibility of saving and caring for a Palestinian orphan is a truly remarkable human being and therefore is deserved of great praise. And I totally understand their desire. They have felt helpless watching Israel exterminate and annihilate all aspects of Palestinian life and culture in Gaza. This is their way of doing what they can to make right with the world. It's a truly noble intention. But it also must be said that their intention is a little naive and misguided, because proposing adoption as a solution to care for Palestinian children who are left without surviving family members is in itself a form of ethnic cleansing. In fact, the practice of transcultural adoption is an often overlooked form of ethnic cleansing due to the way in which the practice masquerades as humanitarianism. The United Nations has been very succinct in defining ethnic cleansing to be any act or measure that renders an area ethnically homogeneous by using force or intimidation to remove persons or given groups from the area. In 1978, the US Congress acknowledged that the United States had engaged in acts of ethnic cleansing when it took hundreds of thousands of Native American children from their homes and placed them in institutions or with families that had no connection with Native American culture. In Australia, this practice of taking Indigenous children from their parents and putting them under the care of government institutions or white families produced what First Nation peoples call the stolen generation. Now, I know nobody is suggesting Palestinian orphans be removed from Gaza by force, but any effort to adopt and resettle them with families in the West will constitute their removal from Palestine nevertheless, which is exactly what Israel wants, because Israel aims to ethnically cleanse Gaza and eventually the Palestinian West Bank in totality. British surgeon Dr. Hassan Abu Sitta knows this firsthand, given he has spent the past several months in Gaza performing amputations on young Palestinian children.
Israelis have now come to the point where they believe that the solution to their problems is to basically ethnically cleanse Palestinians from Gaza and then eventually from the West Bank. In order to do that, you need to create a catastrophe and to create a self-sustaining catastrophe. You dismantle those parts of life that make life manageable in a place like us.
This is why surviving Palestinian families are so afraid of leaving Gaza, even temporarily, because they know once they are gone, then Israel will never allow them back, like it has denied 6 million other Palestinian refugees their lawful right to return to their homes. Now, in instances where adoption or guardianship is the only means for ensuring the future well-being of a Palestinian orphan, then this must first be done so in accordance with the child's religious faith and cultural traditions. But the bottom line is this: if the world really wants to save Palestinian children, then it must address the root causes of their plight. The root cause being Israel's criminal occupation and the violence it uses to enforce it. It's this violence that creates orphaned and displaced children. So instead of petitioning against current adoption laws, we should push for an end to the current genocidal practices that make it difficult or impossible for Palestinian families to live. Ending the occupation is the only way we can truly save the children of Palestine. But that's my time for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we kindly ask you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJ Werleman. We can't produce, sustain and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and stay blessed.